Now for the final of the lightweight women's single sculls, Ursula Grobler of South Africa in lane 1, bronze medalist at the World Rowing Cup Lucerne earlier this year. Lane 2, Fabiana Beltrame of Brazil, gold medalist at World Rowing Cup Lucerne, bronze medalist at Eton, very well established in this single scull. Lane 3, Ruth Walczak of Great Britain, yet to medal this year, 4th at all 3 of the World Cups. Michaela Taupatrea of Austria in lane 4, she's had a good season, gold at Eton, silver at Lucerne, silver in Seville Euro Championships. Lane 5, Ekaterini Nicolaidou of Greece, European champion in the lightweight women's single sculls. And in lane 6, Elena Krivashenko of Belarus. She's came second in the lightweight singles at under-23s in Linz earlier this year and got the gold at the under-23s in track last year. So certainly an up-and-comer moving out of the under-23s division.
Lost to Nicolaidou, didn't she, in this year's under-23s?
Yeah.
But the Belarusian had a sensational last 500. She had the quickest last 500 in the semis of all these scullers, so we'll have to watch out and see. Ruth Walczak, I saw the British sculler first out. She really got left in the first 500 metres, and I don't think that was part of the plan for Coach Paul Reedy envisaged. So she moved well off the start there, and Hila told her this race could be yours for the taking, which would be difficult to believe from a sculler who's, as you said, yet to medal, but there she goes, blasting out.
Wow, brilliant start there. Taupatrea also had a very clean start, but not quite as fluid at this moment as the British sculler, who is moving out to half a length lead now. But locked together are the 3 boats going for the silver medal at this moment. But, I mean, early days, anything could happen.
I just wonder what Reeds has said to her, because, I mean, when she went through the 500 metres, you know, in a semi-final, she didn't blast out as fast as this.
Look at Elena Krivashenko of Belarus, though, on the near side. She's well in contention with some very experienced scullers, Taupatrea and Beltrame. They're all 3 of these scullers, bow ball for bow ball. As you say, though, Sarah, early days, and it's going to develop through the second 500.
Vicky, we were talking about when you were in the pairs in Munich in 2007 and you just led out. I just wonder what's going through Ruth Walczak's mind now. She's got nearly a length on the field. What do you think at 500 metres? What goes through your head then? Well,
I think particularly when you're new, like Ruth is, there's always a little bit of concern there. Am I doing the right thing? Have I done it too early? Am I going too hard? Those thoughts do creep through your mind. So I think it's really important that at this moment she has the confidence in what she's doing. She focuses on just rowing well and getting, maintaining that speed through to the middle 1,000, and just not second-guessing herself, I think, is the key at this moment.
So to the 500, Ruth Walczak leads the way. Time of 1:54 through there, and really close behind are Taupatrea and Fabiana Beltrame, who are dead level, exactly 2.5 behind Walczak.
Taupatrea from Klagenfurt, coached by Kurt Treyer, who I assume is a husband, and really stepped on this year. Austrian sculling, we've seen Lobnig earlier get into the final.
Look at the stroke rate there of Taupatrea. She's at 32, but if you look just past her to Beltrame, how much slower and slightly more graceful her strokes are there. She's underrating significantly there, but power through the water, keeping her in the game.
She just pushes a long, really is efficient for the middle K in this race. I mean, we've seen where it cost her, where Ruth Walczak beat her in the sort of final sprint, because Beltrame doesn't have that capacity.
And look at what's happening now. Taupatrea just starting to move through Walczak. It's always the risk of having a strong start in the first 500 metres like Ruth did, and she is just starting to pay for that in the second 500. Taupatrea very measured in what she's doing at this moment, just inching through into the second 5, which is the all-critical 500, I think, in this single scull.
And a lot of the top scullers, you see their face, and it's like just a picture, but she looks like in agony every stroke, doesn't she? I mean, she has this facial expression, but I mean, you look at her body from the distance there, she's up high, she's sprinting, she's connected, the boat's flowing. I mean, you wouldn't know, but that face just shows the pressure that she's under.
And look at Nicolaidou now of Greece in lane 5. She's moving up the field quickly. She's coming on to terms with Beltrame and Wolchak. She's the under-23 European champion and certainly performing well at senior level.
Yes, certainly I think coming into this race, based on their performances over the last couple of years or last year, it's really hard to pick who should be there, and all four going across the 1,000 together, more or less.
Really tightly packed group there. Out in front, though, Tao Petrea half a length up, and currently in second, Nicolaidou's done it. She's just nosed ahead of Beltrame and Wolchak, but they're so tightly packed.
You've got to say the Brit now has laid her cards down, and this is a big third quarter for the Brit, because to my money, it's going to be Tao Petrea and the Greek Nicolaidou and Beltrame that will move further away from Wolchak unless she's got another card to play.
Yeah, she does look like she's starting to suffer now, really paying for that quick first 5. And the top 3 scullers there from Brazil, over in lane 2, currently in third. In second is the Greek, and leading is Tao Petrea from Austria. What a fine performance she's putting on now, but the pressure is starting to come from the Greek sculler, and this we would expect from her. She won the under-23 lightweight women's single scull. She is a very fine sculler indeed, and she is going for the win now.
She really is. Do you think Tao Petrea has gone too early, pushing out in front? She'll have been trying to solidify a lead that she could then hold on to, but I don't think she anticipated Nicolaidou's guts through this third 500.
She looks like she is responding, Tao Petrea. She is just covering those moves from Nicolaidou, but I think Nicolaidou looks very strong. I mean, she's 2 points down on the Austrian for stroke rate, and she looks long and very relaxed, and I think that she'll start to edge even further ahead as we come towards the 1,500-metre mark. I think the Greek looks very strong.
I was talking to a coach, Gianni Postiglione, this morning, and, you know, I said, what do you think of Katerina? And he kind of looked, you know, as if to say medal, but I mean, this isn't just medal form, is it? This is gold medal form with 500 metres to go.
Amazing stuff, and I just wonder when Beltrame of Brazil is going to make her move. I don't think we've seen it yet, and it could be a big one. Coming up to 1,500 now, then, leading the way home, Katerina Nicolaidou of Greece, a nose ahead of Tao Petrea. Third place currently sits with Fabiana Beltrame of Brazil, and moving up the field, Ursula Grobler.
Yes, this third place, I think, will get really interesting. Beltrame now making a slight response. She's getting back in contact with those 2 leading crews. Wolchak is holding on. She's holding on to that 4th place at the moment, but steamrolling up the far side is Ursula Grobler, back in contact with the Brazilian. Could she put together a big 500 here to put herself into the bronze medal?
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if Wolchak's got anything left for the sprint we saw yesterday to get in front of Beltrame, but Tao Petrea, well, she grits her teeth every stroke, but the strength of the Austrian woman has just taken the young Greek to pieces, hasn't it? And what a move to make at this stage of the race with 350 metres to go.
Amazing stuff, that, isn't it? I mean, I was wondering whether she'd gone too early, but she clearly has gas left in the tank for this final, and it's a strong burn. I wonder if Nicolaidou can react.
She looks very fluid. I mean, I'm quite impressed with how she's moving at this point in the race. 37 strokes a minute, and she did have another gear, and she's just making the Greek look like she's standing still at the moment. But Wolchak, what a comeback. She's absolutely burnt through the Brazilian. She's put herself into the bronze medal. I thought it was all over her, all over for her with that fade in the middle, but she is back in medal contention.
Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, there's only 150 metres to go. She could even take silver at this stage because Nicolaidou's moving backwards. A couple of quick looks over, and she knows that Wolchak is right on top of her. It's going to come down to the line, but I think Nicolaidou will just hold on to it. Tao Petrea, though, leading the way for the gold medal. What a turnaround there in the last 250 with Wolchak moving up. Crossing the line, though, the new 2013 world champion in the lightweight women's single sculls, Michaela Tao Petrea. The silver medal to Katerina Nicolaidou, and the bronze to Ruth Wolchak of Great Britain.
Well, that hurt for her, didn't it? I mean, absolutely. The way she just held off, just waited, bided a moment to go through Katerina Nicolaidou, who just was so brave in that third quarter to take the lead, the under-23 world champion. We're going to see a lot more from her. And Ruth Walczak, well, I don't know if she's kicking herself, gave away a chance for bronze, or she sees that on the podium at last. A world bronze medal for you, Ruth, and great platform to try and get into the lightweight women's double scull, which is, of course, the Olympic event.
Incredible comeback there for her to get through Beltrame, who painfully just missed out in the 4th position.
We're not paying too much attention to times in the sense of they're not that close to world's best because of the headwind, but 7:50, very strong time, I think, for this event, given the conditions.
I really enjoyed this start, actually, because for the first 250, we had Elena Krivashenko of Belarus was well in this. She's the silver medalist at the under-23s this year, but just couldn't quite hang with the game as Walczak, Taupatrea, Beltrame and Nicolaidou just started to pull away. Such an exciting race, and as they came into the grandstand, the crowd really lifted in support of these. Clearly a favourite event at the World Championships, the lightweight women's single sculls. Taupatrea there, the new world champion in lightweight women's single sculls 2013. Absolutely delighted.